Start reading the first 3 verses. The 9th chapter, Genesis 9, and you got to know this because all your enemies do. And if you don't know this and you're trying to help somebody and one of your enemies around, he can deceive you or make you look bad because you don't know what you're supposed to know. According to Genesis, the 9th chapter, start reading the first 3 verses.
Genesis 9:1. And Elohim blessed Noah and his sons, and said unto them, Be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth. And the fear of you, and the dread of you, shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hands are they delivered. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you.
Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. He didn't say all plants. He didn't say to smoke everything you get in your mouth. So don't let nobody walk up to me, yeah, man, it is a living. You can eat or you can smoke weed. It's a natural plant. But tell him poison ivory is natural too. Smoke that. If you see him smoke some poison ivory, poison oak, and his head don't get big as a basketball, then I too will believe that every plant was made to eat. But no time did the Almighty say every plant should be for meat. He said every moving thing shall be meat to you. Talking about living creatures. Keep reading.
Even as the green herb have I given you all things.
Even as the green herb have I given you all things. So he just eliminated that food that some of y'all love. And the Almighty didn't tell us to eat that. He said, eat every green what? Herb. Keep reading.
But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat.
He tell us to throw out the blood, don't eat no blood.
And surely your blood of your lives will I require. At the hand of every beast will I require it. And at the hand of man, and at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man.
So shall this man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed, for the image of Elohim made he man. But notice the 3rd verse. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. And that's why the Christians say, well, I can eat everything, because the Almighty blessed everything and said that we can eat everything. And yes, I can eat a hog, and I'm not going to die right away. I can eat shrimp and oysters. I can do that. So if I can eat all of these things, then why did the Almighty tell Israel not to eat nothing unclean when he told everybody else to eat everything? Why did he tell us that, is my question. The reason the Almighty gave us that commandment and told us not to eat unclean meat is because of Leviticus, the 20th chapter. The Almighty wanted you to be special. The Almighty wanted you to be different. The Almighty wanted you to be like him. The Almighty wanted you to be a peculiar treasure unto himself above all the nations of the earth. So if you're going to be peculiar, you can't be like everybody else. How is the Almighty going to make you peculiar unto himself and in the same breath make you like everybody else? If you want to be like everybody else, then act like Paul. Paul said, go to Rome, be it as the Romans. He said, I went to the Greeks, I became as a Greek. I went to the Jews, I became as a Jew. He said, I became all things to all men that I might win the men. To them that are without law, I became without law. I got to show that to you. But I want you to read this first. Leviticus, the 20th chapter. Start reading the 22nd to the 26th verse.
Leviticus 20 and 22. Ye shall therefore keep all my statutes and all my judgments, and do them, that the land whither I bring you to dwell in spurn you not out. And ye shall not walk in the manner of the nations, which I cast out before you. For they committed all these things, and therefore I abhorred them. But I have said unto you, ye shall inherit the land, and I will give it unto you for a possession.
I'll give that land unto you for a possession, their land, because it's going to spew them out. Go ahead.
A land that floweth with milk and honey. I am Yahweh, your Elohim, which have separated you from other people.
I separated from you, and he just didn't pull us out to pull us out. When he separated us, he separated us from their ways. He separated us from the false gods that they serve. He separated us from their habits, from their customs. He separated us from everything everybody else was doing. He separated us from that. He not only separated us from them, but he separated us from their ways. What good it would be to separate us from them unto himself, but we doing everything else that they do. They wear the miniskirts, we want a miniskirt. They want to look white, we look white. And our people are a gatekeeper.
Ye shall therefore put difference between clean beasts and unclean.
No, he tells you why he gave you a dietary law. He said, therefore you should put difference between the clean beast and the unclean beast.
And between the unclean fowls
and between the unclean fowls and the clean fowls.
And ye shall not make your souls abominable.
I don't want you to make your souls, your bodies abominable or filthy.
By beast.
By beast.
Or by fowl.
Or by fowl.
Or by any manner of living thing that creepeth on the ground.
Or by any manner of creeping thing that creepeth on the ground. No roach, no snake, no rats, nothing, no moles. I don't want you to be abominable by anything that creepeth on the ground.
Which I have separated from you as unclean.
And because I separated you from these things as unclean. And why?
And ye shall be holy unto me.
You shall be holy unto me.
For I am Yahweh, am holy.
Because I'm holy, and I separated you to be with me. So if I'm holy, and you want to be with me, you got to be holy. You can't be with the Almighty, eating everything everybody else eat, and then you say you're the Almighty. You can't be with the Almighty working with everybody else any day of the week because they do it, and then you want to say you're the Almighty. You don't want to be with the Almighty celebrating every holy day, every false day that they keep, and you're going to keep, and you're going to claim you're holy with Yah. The only way you can be holy with him is to be like him. How can two walk together except they be agreed? If you want to walk with Yah like Enoch, then you have to become holy. Now, what does the word holy means? The word holy means to be separated. And the only one that can separate you and make you holy is the Almighty. Just because you separate one dish from another, that don't become holy. The only one that has the power to pronounce anything holy is Yah and him only. So he can make one day holy, the Sabbath day. Why is it holy? He made it holy. He can make us holy. Why? Because he pronounced us holy. That's how we become holy. But if the Sabbath day is holy, that means only certain things can be done on the Sabbath day because Yah made it holy. That means if you're Israel and you're holy, that means that you can only do certain things. You can't do what everybody else do. You're different. You're holy now. You want to be able to call on me? Then you got to walk with me. You can't call upon Yah and you not walk with him. That's the reason I don't tell people what to do. And they say, brother, should I quit my job? I said, that's up to you, bro. Well, I can't. Well, you know what I'm doing. You know what I would do. But I can tell you walk according to your strength and your relationship with the Almighty. I'm walking with the Almighty now, so I know what he'll do for me. I know he ain't going to leave me out there and on Skid Row. I know that. He's already tested me. So I know that. So I can't tell you what to do, but I know what I'm going to do, else I know what I've been through, and I already know that I can call on him and he will hear me. Now that might not be true for you. Might not be true to the next fella, because you got to develop a relationship with the Almighty. David said, I am young, and now I am old, but I have never seen the righteous forsaken, and your seed begging bread. I've never seen that. Now, the righteous might not have as much money as everybody else. They might not have as pretty car as everybody else, but the righteous can keep the Sabbath day if they want to. There's no man, no weapon that is formed that can stop you. You might not have all the desires of your heart like you want to. You might not be able to keep up with the Joneses next door and do everything they do and buy a new car every time they buy one, but you can be different. You can call on me when the Joneses can't. The scripture says when the wicked turneth his ear from hearing the law, even their prayers shall become an abomination to the Almighty. Now, who said what I'd rather be in? Well, I'd rather be rich because I'm doing everything under the sun to get money, but I can't call on the Almighty when I need him? Or would I rather be poor and be able to call on the Almighty anytime I want to? He may not give you everything you want, but he's going to give you everything you need. And a lot of things you need, you don't know. And a lot of things you think you want, you really don't want. Because there's things I prayed for in my life that I say now, when I look back on it, boy, I wish I hadn't asked the Almighty for that. I should have just asked him to do his will, because he knows best. I bugged me so bad and asked me to give this, and he gave it to me, but after I got it, I don't even want it. I don't need it. But we can look back in retrospect and see those things. We don't see it going in the front door. But going out the back door, we can look back and say, okay, so this is how this thing works. So the way the thing works is don't ask for what you want. Ask him to give you what you need. Don't ask for the woman you want. Tell him to give you a wife that he desires you to be with. Ask him to give you a husband that will fit your needs. It might not be that little cute cat with the new convertible. You understand? His pants and his tail. Might not be him, but he will give you what you need, and that's the best thing. Finish reading. So, as I was saying, the dietary law was given to us because the Almighty wanted us to be holy like he's holy. He wanted us to be different from other people. The only way you can show your difference is with your obedience. Other than that, you show who your master is. If the Almighty say do this, and the white man say do that, and I do what the white man say, opposed to what Yahweh said, then he's my master. I made him my master. Even though I don't have a yoke on my neck, I put a yoke on my mind by making myself subservient to him, opposed to being subservient to the Creator. We're not to be like Paul. We're to be different. The Almighty made us holy unto himself above all the nations that are on the face of this earth. We are to be holy. We are to be different, and we are not to be like Paul. Let me show you how Paul was. Let's go to 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians. And I'll show you what not to be like. First Corinthians 9 chapter. The Almighty said, be different and to be holy. And all the ambassadors that the Almighty represented his name with and identified his great name with, they were all different. He said, I'm the Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They were all different. Those were his ambassadors. We are to be like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They are our role models. This is a Christian role model right here. His name is Paul. In 1 Corinthians, the 9th chapter, I want you to start reading at the 20th verse.
And unto the Jew I became as a Jew.
Now you notice, unto the Jew I became as a Jew, meaning that when he went around the Israelites, he acted holy. He acted like he was a lawgiver. He became as a Jew. Go ahead.
That I might gain the Jews.
In other words, that I might trick the Jew. I wanted to trick him, make him a Christian, so I became as a Jew that I might gain him, win him over. Through subtlety, I became like he was. Keep reading.
To them that are under the law, as under the law, that I might gain them.
With, and identified his great name with, said, I'm the Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They were all different. Those were his ambassadors. We are to be like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They are our role models. This is a Christian role model right here. His name is Paul. In 1 Corinthians, the 9th chapter, I want you to start reading at the 20th verse.
And unto the Jew I became as a Jew.
Now you notice, unto the Jew I became as a Jew, meaning that when he went around the Israelites, he acted holy. He acted like he was a lawgiver. He became as a Jew. Go ahead.
That I might gain the Jews.
In other words, that I might trick the Jew. I wanted to trick him, make him a Christian, so I became as a Jew that I might gain him, win him over. Through subtlety, I became like he was. Keep reading.
To them that are under the law, as under the law, that I might gain them that are under the law.
He said, to them that are under the law, as under the law, that I might gain them that are under the law. In other words, when he went to them that are under the law, he became as he was under the law and acted like he was under the law, that he might gain or trick them that are under the law.
To them that are without the law, as without the law.
In other words, he said he went to them that are without law. He became as without law.
Being not without the law to Elohim.
Now that's not the scriptures you read that right there. And I want to teach you a lesson in English. When you see those two little dashes separating those words, do you know what that is called? Somebody tell me what that's called. Huh? What do you call the addition? Yes, sir. Parenthesis. Absolutely. And that's when you have those two things, that meaning that was added. That's not the original. You will see it both in the Old and the New Testament where they added that. That's an addition. That's not with the original. So what it says, where it says, be not without the law to God, but under the law of Christ, that was added. Now let me show you what it really says. To them that are without law, as without law, that I might gain them that are without law. To the weak I became as weak, that I might gain the weak. I am made all things to all men. In other words, to the homosexuals, he became a homosexual. To those that were stealing, he became a thief, that he might be with the thieves. To the wine heads, he became a wine head, so he could talk to the wine heads. He said, to them that are without law, as without law, that I might gain them that are without law. To the weak became I as weak. Notice, that I may gain the weak. I am made all things to all men, that I might by all means save some. But how are you going to save somebody and you became like them? That's when most men that come to this congregation admire our congregation. I said, brother, y'all got the only church. I said, no, we're not a church. He said, well, you're the only place I've ever been where they study the Bible, where I see more men than women. I said, yes. I said, because young men, they out in the street. They seen the con. They done sold the crack, pimp the ladies, hustle the people. They seen all that. And they can see through people. And they're not going to go wasting their time on a Sabbath day sitting under somebody that's doing everything, that's stealing in the name of the Most High, that's pimping the people. They're not going to sell them for that. They only want truth. That's all they want. Even if you hurt them, they want the truth. The men come to our place, a lot of them don't like me, because I tell them things they don't like. But one thing they know, I'm going to tell them the truth. They know I'm not going to cater to them. I'm not going to kiss their tail, as they say. But at the same time, I'm going to tell them the truth because they don't pay my salary. I work for my living. And I don't even need them to support me there because they don't. So they ain't got nothing coming from me because I ain't got nothing coming from them. So we don't owe nobody each other nothing. I give you the truth because I got to give it to you. That's my obligation to the Almighty. You're here not because y'all like me, but because you're keeping a Sabbath day. So I ain't got nothing coming, and you ain't got nothing coming. But not so with the preachers in the New Testament. Brothers ain't gonna sit under that. JC just condemned all the preachers of the New Testament. He condemned. Let me show you JC right now condemning so-called Reverend White, Reverend Black, Reverend Brown, Reverend Milk, Reverend Milton, Reverend Milkway, Reverend Hall, all of the so-called reverends. Let me show you what JC just said about all of your reverends in Cincinnati and all of your preachers that you sent from out of town and have brought to Cincinnati to preach for you. And all the new preachers you just hired. Let me show you what JC said about you and your preachers. Since you claim you're following him, turn to St. John. St. John, the 10th chapter. St. John, 10th chapter. Look what JC says. In the very 11th verse, I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd gives his life for his sheep. And I agree with that. If a man is a good shepherd, he will give his life for his sheep. Because I jeopardize my life every day from what I'm teaching. I have went in restaurants and ate and was sat down and never moves his eyes, just fixed, like he's mad and angry. And I know he's mad. I know I've upset a lot of people because our people just can't stand the truth. The truth hurts. It burns people. It's like a two-edged sword. And I see men just stare at me, just stare. And I'm trying to eat now. Look up, he just never even moved. Like you dirty, low down, so-and-so, and I'm trying to eat my meal. I had to eat fast sometime. I felt uncomfortable. He'll give his life for it because he knows it's the truth. He ain't gonna live his life for no lie now. He ain't gonna give it for no lie at all. But notice what else he says. I'm the good shepherd. The good shepherd gives his life for the sheep. But he that is a hireling is not the shepherd. Now let's stop and see what we just read. He that is a hireling. Do you know the definition of the word hireling? If you look in the dictionary, and hireling is somebody that's hired to do a job. If a man is hired to preach for you, JC just called him an hireling. That's what a hireling is. Preachers that's hired. Preachers that's hired. But he that is an hireling is not the shepherd. He said he's not even a true shepherd. Who own the sheep or not? He said these are really not his sheep. These are false pastors. And this hireling, he seeth the wolf coming, and he leaves the sheep and fleeth, and the wolf catches them and scatters the sheep. The hireling fleeth because he is a hireling, and he cared not for the sheep. So right here, the so-called Savior of the New Testament just condemned every minister that preaches for hire. He preaches because you hired him. It's like we had a preacher here in Cincinnati named Moss. He was offered more money in Cleveland at a bigger church, so what did he do? He left and went to the bigger church. If they all much more money in another city, I'm betting to say that's where he's going to be going at. Not unless he got some other fresh benefits that he don't know that you don't know nothing about. Sometimes they get offered some more money, but they really get more where they at. And so they stay where they at. Right here, he just condemned that. But the Almighty lets us know that our people are not going to be deceived by this foolishness no more. Now go back to where you were in the original position. With the dietary law and how this is the first commandment JC, or it's one of the commandments that JC broke by not confirming all the words of the law, which is the dietary law. I'm showing the class why the Almighty gave us a dietary law in the first place. The first reason he gave us a dietary law is because he wanted us to be holy like he was holy. And then there was a second reason he gave us a dietary law, and that is mentioned in the book of Leviticus, the 11th chapter. Leviticus, the 11th chapter, the Almighty gives the second reason that he gave us a dietary law. I discovered something the other day at my old age that I just realized. The older you get, the wiser you get. I just found out what the average preacher is to the congregation. I seen my mother and another lady walking in the store, and I made a remark about the pastor, something like, I forgot, but it was nothing distasteful, it was just a remark. And the other lady with my mother said, "Watch yourself." Then I noticed that wasn't the first time that it was told to me. Then I realized something that most of the people don't realize. The average Christian never knows the Almighty. They die without knowing him. Because the fear of Yah is the beginning of knowledge. So they never know the Creator, so they never learn how to fear him. And if they don't know how to fear him, they can't do relationship with him. So the average Christian dies never knowing nothing about the Almighty. And the truth of the matter is, the average Christian dies never knowing nothing about JC, except what her minister teaches her. So in an average Christian church, the God that the people serve is not Yah, it's not Christ, it's the reverend, it's the preacher. They will get more upset with you talking about that preacher than you will Christ. You can talk about Christ easier to them than you can their minister. If you don't believe me, try. I talk about JC, but don't talk about O'Reilly. Because then the people gets mad. Because their salvation came through him. And the only thing they know is what he taught them. That's reading the scripture says the leaders of the people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed. And when they get this is all they can see is what Rahab told them. So if Rahab, in other words, you can go to the average church person and show them in the Bible that they're wrong. And do you think that would change them? As long as Rahab says something different, they're going to stick by what Rahab said and not what the Bible said. That's what the people will do. You can even show them what the Most High said, and they're going to stick to what Rahab said. So, again, let me show you the second reason, without deviating any further. The second reason why the Almighty gave us a dietary law. It's mentioned in the book of Leviticus, the 11th chapter. Would you please read the 43rd and the 44th verse? Read.
Leviticus 11 and 43. Yourselves abominable with any creeping thing that creepeth. Neither shall ye make yourself unclean with them, that ye should be defiled thereby. For I am Yahweh your El, and ye shall be holy, for I am holy. Neither shall ye defile yourself with any manner of creeping thing.
Neither shall ye defile yourself. In other words, the Almighty says what you eat can defile you. He says, neither shall ye defile yourself with what?
Any manner of creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. For I am Yahweh that bringeth you up out of the land to be your Elohim.
He said twice, don't defile yourself with anything that can make your soul filthy, contagious, susceptible to types of diseases. Don't make yourself abominable. Why do you want to get a heart attack, high blood pressure, arthritis, rheumatism? Why would you eat something and make yourself abominable? Don't defile yourself with it at all. Now, how did you break this law? You turn to the book of Mark, the 7th chapter. Mark, the 7th chapter. Mark, verse.
Mark 7 and 14. And hearken unto me, every one of you.
Hearken unto me, every one of you.
Can defile him.
There's
without a man.
On the outside of a man.
That entering into him.
That can enter into that man.
Out of a man. Those are they that defile the man.
When you were created perfect. And if you ate all good, clean foods and only received clean teaching and clear your mind, it's impossible for you to be a vessel that anything evil can come out of. Evil. You have never smelled evil. You have never tasted evil. And you never perceived evil. You cannot be evil. Evil cannot come out of you if it was not first put. They're going to say there's nothing that entering into him that can defile him. You tell that to the heroin that can defile him. You to the little crack-addict lady that slept with a rock router just to get some crack. You tell her that there's nothing entering into her can defile. You tell that to my aunt that died with high blood pressure, and the doctor told her don't eat no more pig, and she ate some ribs and died that day. There's nothing. Tell it to Daniel, because Daniel, first chapter.
Chapter 7, verse. Unto whom the prince of the eunuchs gave names, for he gave unto Daniel the name of his deity, of his deity again, and to Amashi, and to Azariah of his deity. But Daniel proposed in his heart with a portion of the king's meat. He would